In this lesson, we are going to implement payment by PayPal. When customers select a product, add to cart, go to cart, proceed to checkout, shipping address, payment method, and place order. After placing order based on the payment method, if it's PayPal, we are going to load PayPal button like this. And when user click on it, we redirect user to the PayPal website, make the payment, and change the status of payment to paid. Source code of this lesson is on the repository. You can find it on the commit section. Number 18, pay order by PayPal. Use this code to follow me throughout this lesson. Here is the plan to implement payment by PayPal. First of all, go to developer.paypal.com. Just create your PayPal account and log in. After login, make sure you are in sandbox mode because we are going to test it, and then you can click here and go to the live mode to get the real PayPal client ID. Next step, in the apps and credential, then create app, enter app name. Here I'm going to set it to Next, Postgres e-commerce, select merchant, select default, and click on create app. After this, you'll be redirected to this page, API credentials, copy client ID, go to environment variable, paste it here, and right before it, type PayPal client ID =. So I'm setting PayPal client ID. We need secret ID too. I'm just copy to clipboard, and then in the .env file, set PayPal app secret =, and set it to whatever you get. Don't use this one because I'm going to delete it after this lesson. You need to have your own PayPal app secret. The last setting for PayPal is PayPal API URL. I'm using api-m sandbox paypal.com. In real scenario, I mean when you go to live and generating real API credential, the live API credential, get rid of sandbox here. Just api-m.paypal.com. Great. I have all settings to implement payment by PayPal. Go to next step. It's passing PayPal client ID to the order details form. Go to root order ID page.tsx. In the order details form, pass PayPal client ID. It comes from PayPal client ID in the environment variable. If it doesn't exist, use sandbox. Go to order details form to get rid of this error. I'm getting PayPal client ID. It's of type string. Next step is creating PayPal utility functions. I generated in live folder, create paypal.ts file, go to live, new file, paypal.ts. Here is the code. First of all, get the base URL from environment variable, PayPal client, PayPal API URL. If it doesn't exist, use the sandbox URL. Then export PayPal object. It has create order, capture payment. These two functions, we use it in the order details form. Before explaining create order and capture payment from PayPal, let's explain generate access token function. We use this utility function to create order and accept payment. What we're gonna do here is to get client ID and app secret from PayPal in the environment variable and generate auth using buffer.from and mixing client ID and app secret and converting them to a string on base 64. By having auth, I can send an API request to PayPal and get a token by passing authorization by passing auth in the header as authorization equal to basic auth. Then pass the response to handle the response. What I'm gonna do in this utility function is to check if the status is successful, return it, otherwise generate error message and raise an error. After getting JSON data, return access token. By generating access token, we can validate payment through these functions, create order and capture payment. In the create order, I accept price as parameter, get access token, set the URL to the base URL /v2/checkout/orders, and send this API request to this URL. By sending this request as a post and passing access token in the header and passing this data, here is the payload of this API request. The intent is capture and the price is coming from price parameter in the create order function. At the end, I return the response. By running this API, I can create an order on PayPal and use it to make the payment, to create payment form on PayPal. What do we do in the capture payment? This one is very important. We get order ID. It's the order ID on PayPal, not the order ID in our e-commerce website. Then generate token, create the URL. The URL is the base URL v2 checkout orders order ID /capture. It's a post request and pass the access token in the header and return the response. By running this API, we finalize the PayPal payment on our website. Great. Next step is in order actions. We need to create two functions, create PayPal order and approve PayPal order. Go to order actions. After create a section for update. Export async function, create PayPal order, accept order ID as parameter. It's the order ID in our e-commerce website, I mean in the PostgreSQL database. First of all, get the order based on the order ID from the ResolveRM. Then check the order. If we have this order on the order table, then call create order on PayPal. Import PayPal from paypal.ts in the live folder. The parameter to this function is total price. We get it from the order.totalPrice. Here we have PayPal order. Next step is updating order record and setting payment result to the ID of PayPal order and setting other values including email, status, and price paid to empty values because the payment is not done in this step. We're just creating an order, and in the next step, we make the payment and finalize the payment. Then return this successful message, PayPal order created successfully, and pass the order ID on PayPal. If there is an error, raise an error. The next step, the next function is approve PayPal order. We get to this function after finishing payment on the PayPal website. What we do here is to get order ID. It's the order ID on our website, I mean in the PostgreSQL database, and get the data. Data has order ID field. It's from PayPal order ID. It comes from the PayPal generated by PayPal. What I'm doing here in the try catch block is to get the order based on the order ID. If it doesn't exist, raise an error, and then call capture payment from PayPal object in the paypal.ts, the utility function, and pass data.order_id. It's the order ID on PayPal, and then get the capture data. If it doesn't exist, if it's not completed, and if its ID does not equal to the payment result.id on the order object in PostgreSQL database, then show this error message, error in PayPal payment. Otherwise, call update order to paid. We implement this function and pass this object order ID, and payment result is coming from captured data from PayPal. We are getting the email address of payer, the status of payment, and the exact value paid on the PayPal. Then revalidate the path to update the UI of order details page and return this message: your order has been successfully paid by PayPal. If there is something wrong, return error message. Let's implement update order to paid. Scroll down at the very end of this function, define update order to paid. It's an async function that accepts order ID and payment result, order ID of type string, and payment result of type payment result. Import payment result from types folder. Then find the order in the order table, get is paid column, where order ID is equal to the order ID in the update order to paid function parameter, and include order items to this order. Then check the order. If it doesn't exist, raise an error. If is paid is true, display this error message: order is already paid. Otherwise, create a transaction. What I'm gonna do here is to update all items in the order items. What I'm gonna do here is to decrease the quantity of product in the product table based on the order items in this order. So create a loop on the order items, then call update products, import products from schema, and set stock to product.stock minus item.quantity. So if we have 5 items in the stock and current order for this product is 2, the stock is gonna be 3. 5 minus 2 is gonna be 3. Import SQL from the Drizzle-ORM. After setting this, after this loop updating all products, then we need to update the orders, set the status to true, paid add to current date, and save the payment result. At the end, we need to send purchase receipt, send an email to the user for the current order, but it's not the topic of this lesson, so we will go for it on the next lesson, sending order receipts as an email to the user using resend service. That's the topic of next lesson. Let's keep it simple. Updating order to paid. We used it in the approve PayPal order. Next step, scroll down to find order details form. In the order details form, before return, add this code: import use toast hook from ShadCN. Define function print loading status. We use it in the code. And what we're gonna do here is to show a loading message while loading PayPal script. To do that, I'm using use PayPal script reducer. This hook is coming from a new package from PayPal. Create a new terminal, pnpm add @PayPal /react-paypal-js. By installing this package, we can access to use PayPal script loader. Scroll up at the beginning, import PayPal buttons, PayPal script provider, and use PayPal script loader. Scroll down. Here I'm getting is pending and is rejected from this hook. Set the status to empty string. If is pending is true, set it to loading PayPal. If there is something wrong, show error in loading PayPal, and at the end return the status. Next function that we're gonna use in this form is handle create PayPal order. What I'm gonna do in this async function is to call create PayPal order server action, import it from order actions, get a response. If it's not successful, show error message, otherwise return rest.data. Res.data contains the order ID on PayPal. Next function that we're gonna use in this form is handle approve PayPal order. It accepts data as parameter, and what we are doing here is to call approve PayPal order action from order actions, get the response, and show the message. If the result is successful, show default, otherwise show the constructive status for this toast message. Scroll down and find the section for order summary. After the last div for total, create conditional rendering. If is paid is true, if this order is not paid and the payment method is PayPal, then render a div. Inside that, render PayPal script provider, its higher order component, and pass PayPal client ID as parameter to this HOC. Inside that, render print loading status. We already created this functional component in this file, and then render PayPal buttons. It comes from this package, React PayPal JS. What I'm passing to this component is create order and unapprove. We already created this handler in this component. Save the file and let's check the result. There we are. I'm in the order details page and I'm getting PayPal button. Let's click on PayPal button. We get redirected to the PayPal website. I'm going to log in with my test buyer account. You can create it on the PayPal dashboard, the developer dashboard. Click on next. Enter your test buyer password, not the real one, because we are using sandbox account. And you are getting ship to test buyer page. The value here is coming from total price, and click on complete purchase. By clicking on it, you will be redirected to the website. The status has been changed to the current date. The status of payment has been changed. Awesome. We successfully implemented payment by PayPal. That's it about this lesson. Until next lesson.